Thailand is one of the most popular tourist countries. Some come here for the islands and beaches, while others come to spend the winter in a warm tropical country. But another type of tourism is also developed here: adult relaxation with legalization and promiscuous Thai women. In this episode, I will travel to the two main party cities in Thailand, Bangkok and Pattaya, where I will be shocked by the scale of the seduction industry.
Friends meet in a nightclub. That same night they sleep with these girls. By the way, I recently took a friend to the hospital. They are about to grab a guy. They grab him and take him away.
Today we will also play Thai roulette, as you can't always tell if it's a boy or a girl in front of you. We will find out why many Thais want to become Thai women.
Who is this? You can never guess who it is. You know, there is a catch to this.
They specifically raise boys for this purpose.
In addition, we will see how Thailand is trying to become the Asian Netherlands.
Shops open every day. E-cigarettes are available. Trans people smoke weed, e-cigarettes. And the police are walking nearby. They patrol.
Well, we have a tourist city.
I think, in short, everything there is paid for.
In the end, we will find out what can land you in a harsh Thai prison.
They have portraits of kings everywhere because Thais believe in the divine power of kings. You see, they bow. Can we criticize the Prime Minister?
You can criticize the Prime Minister, but carefully. Protests here operate on a similar scheme as in China and Russia.
Well, if you sign something in memory of the king or Buddha, you could be for 20 years.
There will be a lot of cool stuff. So subscribe to my YouTube and Instagram, where I am also listed as Vova Carmanov. Let's go. This is Pattaya, the capital of Thai debauchery and one of the largest resorts in the country. To feel the atmosphere, I rented accommodation on the main party street. It will be extremely noisy here at night, especially in this particular area, but calm during the day.
Wow, all this for me? Considering that I'm not even Thai? Well, this is quite a large room. For just me. It costs $35 for 2 nights. This is a layer of dust that seems to be alive. In short, the entire room is so worn out and filled with memories, and so close to all the enthusiasm. I can hardly imagine how much has really happened here. Judging by everything, it's indeed truly at least 40 years old. Thousands of people gathered and spent their time in this popular spot. And the owners, however, don't even bother to fix this back. But mosquitoes still crawl through these cracks. The scariest thing, of course, is what happened on this bed. Scary.
But in any case, I didn't actually really sleep on this bed.
6 in the morning. Neighbors are just coming back from parties. Everyone is making noise and not sleeping.
Sleeping at night in Pattaya is foolish. And as soon as it got dark, I went for a walk. At first glance, everything seems quite decent. A typical noisy resort. We'll smoke hookahs, watch boxing matches live, get tattoos right on the street, and even shoot at a shooting range. But this is only first 2 minutes. In the third, I was already offered lewdness and debauchery, and it wasn't expensive.
Home. This is done now. Indeed, Vadim.
In this adult show, Thai girls do very indecent things right on stage. Won't list them, but in one option, a girl smokes a cigarette, but not with her mouth.
Horrible. But besides Thai girls, there are clubs here where Russian girls work.
I did it. But besides Thai girls, there are clubs here where Russian girls work.
There is a whole Russian district here, in this particular area. Within literally 50 meters of each other, there are 3 clubs called Russian Girls. 3 clubs with very Russian girls. Just the 4th place is Russo tourism. It turns out to be a little Russian corner.
Pretty girls who are supposedly official dancers often work in nightclubs, but those who didn't get jobs in the club stand in a line on the waterfront and meet foreigners.
It's absolutely quite an astonishing shock to me. But they just stand along the waterfront, one after another, about 2 meters apart, and they've been standing there silently for several hundred meters. It's some kind of horror.
Prostitution is officially banned in Thailand, but in many cases it seems that the police turn a blind eye if they come across something like this.
I walked approximately about 50 meters in total distance, and there is a tourist police post. And their canary is also standing right over here.
Prostitution is commonplace in Thailand. And I wouldn't be surprised if here, on the promenade where there are many families with children, sex workers are looking for clients.
And countless number. I don't know how many meters I walked, maybe 500 along the promenade. They are everywhere. I definitely saw more than 100.
According to a modest estimate by the International Labour Organization, there are 300,000 prostitutes in Thailand. And clients are not punished at all here, except for just using the services of minors. For that, there is only a fine.
They approach, try to touch, start conversations, give a bit of compliments, but I feel shy. I instinctively try to keep my distance, walking along the edge of the sidewalk, not mentally prepared for such communication. From 1.5, won't specify for what, but from 1.5 is approximately $50.
Let's move to the capital of Thailand, the city of Bangkok, which is not inferior in nightlife entertainment.
But when I first came to this street, I was in shock. Eyes were darting around so much that I couldn't focus on anything further.
I understand you. I feel the same way. I didn't think there would be such naked people on the street.
This is Igor. He moved to Bangkok last year and still amazed by what is happening.
There are indeed still a lot of massage parlors here.
Massage one.
And they also grab a guy right from the street. It's like that.
They grab and take you away to experience something truly unique and memorable. Massage parlors in Bangkok are literally everywhere, offering a variety of services, and it's not necessarily something that is considered forbidden or taboo in the local culture.
People often come here just to get their legs massaged. 2 hours of such a massage will cost only $13. The most expensive one with special essential oils is $20. It's not hard to easily recognize an adult massage parlor. Girls in robes are often clingy to passers-by. Honestly, I don't want to slander anyone. These girls are primarily masseuses.
As I truly understand, this is indeed such a place. Gorida, absolutely fantastic, please. It's free, a sample. In short, as I simply understand it, you come here, drink beer, go do something, and then you continue drinking beer.
Bangkok has taken him, and now it won't let him go.
Of course, I have nothing against it, but right in front of us, one of the girls just had her huge breast literally pop out and she didn't even blush. The only thing they all cover when they see the camera is their faces. This suggests that they are involved in something illegal or maybe just feel ashamed in front of their father. In any case, the signs do not explicitly mention prohibited services, as prostitution is indeed officially banned. There is definitely a place here where you undoubtedly and certainly want. I think indeed in all these places, absolutely, without a doubt.
I think in every place, because otherwise it definitely wouldn't be so incredibly a profitable business.
The same situation applies to shops and adult toys. Selling them is prohibited, but it happens right on the noisy, dirty streets. Not all love in Thailand is for sale. This is Nikita. He lives in Bangkok, although he didn't originally plan to. On his very first day in Thailand, he started dating a Thai girl and has been living with her for several months.
I met the girl, well, it's actually a very funny story. We met on Tinder when I was in Turkey. So I was flying out of Turkey, and 2 days later I was leaving Turkey. I set my Tinder location to show that I was not in Turkey, but in Bangkok. In the end, I arrived. She asked what I'm doing, if I'm busy. We hang out at a club, and then at 2 a.m. she says, "So shall we go home?" Or like she said it in English, like, "Will you stay with me?" So in my understanding, it doesn't really imply anything. It's just, well, to sleep, right? That's what I thought, really. Just to sleep. In short, we end up at her place, and I'm like, "Well, shall we sleep?" And I just lay down like this, 20 centimeters from the wall, facing sideways. I thought, well, that's it. Time to sleep. But in the end, we obviously didn't sleep. She didn't let me sleep. So that's how it went.
So, almost from the first day.
Yes, I haven't slept at the hotel since the first day. And what does mom say about her? Yes, overall, she says she's a wonderful woman.
And how the woman come into your life?
Damn, well, you know...
Older, probably.
Well, yes.
Is it perhaps easy for a Russian guy to get to know a Thai girl?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
But what about their relationships then? With all Asians, if you are Russian, especially in China, if you are Russian, then it's like you are their best friend. Russian or just white. In China, specifically Russian. So in general, there will be a warm attitude towards white people. And if you are also Russian, then you are the best person in the world. Japan, it won't work out like that. In China, it won't work out like that. In Korea, girls don't really meet people. So here you come to a nightclub. You don't even have to say anything. You are just beautiful in Russian or European, it doesn't matter.
99% of the time, if you are with a Thai girl, she almost always smiled at you and then started talking to you, and she will usually continue to engage in conversation with you.
Victor undoubtedly lives on the island of Phuket and says that there are two dangers in Thailand: deceptive women with surprises and wild animals.
You throw them this chicken like a piece of leg, and they just swallow it whole.
They are hungry there. If they are hungry, they might attack. But if they are full, maybe you can approach and pet them. He is scared. He is scared. Don't want to scare him. I wouldn't say that I'm not afraid. Indeed, I'm scared too, but they are bigger. How calm he is overall. This one is sunbathing. As for the girls with surprises, this refers to transgender individuals, of whom there are many in Thailand.
Here, they specifically raise boys for this purpose. Choose the most beautiful boy in their family. Sponsors him for all the essential surgeries and procedures for hormones. Sends him to earn money in a tourist city.
Like to engage in prostitution.
Yes, specifically.
Wow. And he then feeds the whole family. Walking down the street, you can't always tell what gender the person in front of you is. Who is this? You can never guess who it is. You know, there's a catch. This
is Bangkok, baby. Prizes at every turn. Indeed.
Damn! I didn't get it. Is this a trick? Bangkok is one of the main global centers for LGBT. This is what one of the gay clubs in Pattaya looks like. There are particularly many transgender individuals here, and the attitude towards such people is completely normal.
3 restrooms for everyone on the floor? Are they like this everywhere or just in the first establishments? So far in some places, but they say it will be everywhere.
But in fact, both a guy and a girl can go in there, right?
Well, yes. How do you identify yourself?
But you can go in, you didn't even see what was there.
I just didn't have time, but here it is.
You should have.
Yes, everything is just there.
It's there.
Well, like in Moscow, in general, Thailand is a country of acceptance, in my opinion. No matter who you are, absolutely no one will bully you. Everyone doesn't care. What you want is in your head. Live peacefully. The main thing is not to harm others.
Gender reassignment surgeries in Thailand are performed more than anywhere else. One surgery is not enough. To fully become a woman, you need to put in a lot of effort.
If anyone is planning to go to Thailand and you don't want to get caught off guard, remember this. Look at the legs, shoulders, and height. You can also listen to the voice. That's because hardly anyone changes their voice. I mean, you might say something like, "Hello, can I ask your number?" And the response will just be like, "Yes, of course,
Escaping poverty for beautiful Thai women is not only through working in nightclubs. Goal of many Thai women is a calculated marriage with a European.
There's also practice here. There are a lot of older men with young girls. They are everywhere. It's super common. You can go to a cafe and there will be 2 or 3 older men sitting with young Thai women. They are like the counterparts of these older men, in short.
And some of them already have children. That is, they are actually living them here.
In Russia, such a practice is viewed differently. Well, it's not that common yet, but it happens sometimes. Do you see?
And so it's veiled.
Yet some hate exists. Here, everyone is used to it. It's everywhere, no matter where you go.
Well, look, if everyone here dreams of such things and tries to make it happen, then why lie? Let's accept it, and whoever wants to will spend their old age. Like that.
Yes, if you want to marry a Thai girl, you must come to her parents.
Not like here, symbolically. 1,000 rubles at the wedding.
You must come to the parents, ask for it, and give some substantial amount, $20,000?
Approximately $20,000.
Well, maybe yes.
A year ago, Thailand became the first country in Asia to legalize soft drugs. They can only be sold for medical purposes and smoking in public is prohibited. However, these 2 points are often overlooked as this grandfather overlooked the rules to sell a joint.
And since the summer, it has been completely legalized. Shops are opening every day in all parts of Thailand. This is probably one of the most thriving businesses right now. In other words, new ones are really opening every day. I hear that Russians are slowly starting to get involved in business related to this. Well, is it actually allowed to smoke everywhere, anywhere? Or probably not. In general, as I have heard, in crowded places, you might get caught and fined.
Until recently, drug trafficking in Thailand was punishable by death. But now it seems that the police have orders not to disturb tourists while they relax. And the police are standing nearby. Everything is generally allowed. Heavier substances are another matter. Not hard to find here, but sellers can report tourists to the police. Those who know, find it. Probably in the bustling streets, everything you want is available at night.
Yes, these sellers often collaborate with the police. They sell drugs. Tourists and then police officers come out from around the corner and start extorting money from everyone.
They offer all sorts of mushrooms here and even to inhale some sketchy gases from a balloon. But sellers are not limited to semi-legal light substances, and they directly offer heavy ones on the street.
Is this Christ? And Andre, help me with new one.
They sell cakes here similar to how they are made in Holland. There are no circumstances should you eat such things. It's dangerous and not meant for filling up. There is a funny paradox in Thailand. While light drugs are legal here, regular electronic cigarettes, which are allowed in other countries, are strictly prohibited. It is said that there is even a criminal charge for them.
The minimum is a 20,000 baht fine, and deportation, well, not deportation, but when you leave, someday you will have to do this. They will just put a stamp indicating that you cannot enter for 5 years. My best friend was found with an e-cigarette and they said, Salam alaikum. In the end, they went to the station, meaning it wasn't resolved on the spot. I don't know what they were deciding. In short, they went to the station, arrived at the station, and my friend was told 9,000 baht and everything would be okay.
Vapes are banned. Do you know why? Why? Because the tobacco business belongs to the royal family.
But we are in Thailand, and this ban is also ignored here. They are sold and smoked quite often. My motorcycle driver, who cares little about his health.
He's definitely a criminal, man. Total, absolute criminal. He also has a prohibited device with him.
Here, indeed, at one point, all the laws we talked about are being violated.
E-cigs are being sold, guys, trans people smoking weed, e-cigs, and the police are just walking around like this. They patrol. We have a tourist city. I think everything there is paid off.
Not all the material from Thailand made it into this episode. I posted a lot from this trip on Instagram. There I post stories from other travels and respond to messages more often. Follow me, I'm Vova Carmanov there. The Thai king himself compliments the image of Thailand as a land of pleasures. Throughout his career, he has acquired 5 wives, numerous mistresses, and children. In addition, he covered his body with tattoos, partied extravagantly around the world, and earned a bunch of scandals. You can't criticize him. Here, a harsh word against the king can quickly land you in jail.
Isn't this totalitarianism by chance? It's not totalitarianism, but if you sign something against the king or Buddha, you could. Any Thai person will stand up for the king if you insult him or mention him, as they say, in vain.
Can we criticize the Prime Minister?
You can criticize the Prime Minister, but carefully. You can criticize the Prime Minister. The question here is more about how protests are handled here. Similar to China and Russia. In Kazakhstan, probably. Something like that. Wouldn't say that Thailand is a dictatorship. It's an authoritarian regime. Yes, an authoritarian regime built around the king's figure. But primarily, it is the Prime Minister who manages everything.
Well, where one cannot criticize the authorities, that is already a strict authoritarian regime.
This is a clear story. It's a story about how the king is, after all, God's representative on earth. This is usually the case.
They have portraits of the kings everywhere because Thais believe in the divine power of the kings, that they bow down everywhere.
And they also had some harsh protests a couple of years ago, right? What was that all about?
It was shown on television that they were harsh, but in reality, they blocked off a neighborhood, let the protesters in, and they sorted things out among themselves. Life around continued as usual. They had a prime minister there whom some loved and others did not, because some said he embezzled money, while others said he helped the country.
Here is an interesting story about how they don't have million-dollar cosmonauts, as happens in Moscow. I have never seen them block anything for any reason. All of this is not about them. So far, everything is better here.
But if a Thai person wants to change something in their country, how can they do it?
Well, he will have to re-elect the Prime Minister, go to elections, and engage in all those political matters.
Which prohibited and criticized Prime Minister.
Criticize the PM, but carefully. It's not worth going to protests.
Easier to criticize authorities.
It's easier to criticize the authorities here. Thailand is much more friendly to its residents than our country, unfortunately.
Despite what happens at night, the Thai people are deeply religious. Even in Chinatown, where I settled, the parishioners were making a lot of noise through the wall.
I think that for the church, I will be with the bells, and they have a huge Chinese temple here.
This is me and Anya climbing to the Golden Mount Temple, which rises in the historical part of the city. It used to be the highest point in Bangkok until skyscrapers appeared.
Beautiful.
This temple means a lot to the Thai people, as it is believed to contain a fragment of the Buddha's ashes.
Indeed, in fact, it's not just a truly cool view, but also a truly remarkable history. Wat Saket is one of the oldest and most ancient temples in Bangkok. Probably only Wat Arun is older, which existed before Bangkok even became a city.
There are hundreds of Buddhist temples in Bangkok, and they all shine brightly in the sun.
There's a temple shining over there, there's a temple shining over here, there's a temple shining somewhere. Golden domes. Yes, yes, yes. Well, not domes, but golden. Yes, indeed, gold embellishments. There are very beautiful and majestic temples in Thailand, in Bangkok. They probably have the highest concentration in the country. And we have very convenient vending machines with soda and water right in the middle of the temple. Not a sin.
It's not a sin to literally hit the gong here. If there is no large temple near the house, then the residents make small altars like this.
Is this everywhere for them or what? Yes, it's really everywhere. I mean, there's a 7-Eleven store, and 50 meters away, there's something like this. And what, do they come here during the day and do something? Yes, they can come. Those who believe, they come, put down these red bottles. I haven't found out exactly why red, but they buy this soda, open it, insert straws, and place it.
Specifically soda?
Yes, it's like a carbonated drink. I think it's either red Fanta or something. I don't remember, but is it only this brand? Yes, exactly this brand.
Among the offerings, you can also see cigarettes. And it seems they are not tobacco. Either the Thais are so superstitious or lazy, but for religious reasons, they may not work for years.
This is a very expensive hotel that started being built at one time, and many workers began to die on it, and they refused to work. The owners were ready to freeze the construction, and in the end, they called an astrologer. The astrologers looked at something and said, "Of course, we haven't built anything for the spirits. Spirits are offended." They were like, "So what do we do?" They said, "Let's build an altar, and you will indeed make offerings to them every day." And they have been doing this every evening for about 25 years.
Many Thais have tattoos, very strange tattoos with hieroglyphs and inscriptions. This is, it turns out, indeed an enchanting tattoo. It is known as sakyan. They are applied as protective amulets. At the same time, for it to work, they hold a special meal. And I also observe how many Russian guys are starting to get them a little. And by the way, this is not prohibited because generally a monk can give you a tattoo.
This was an episode from Thailand, which can largely be called the boldest country in Asia. I don't know if such liberalization awaits the rest of the world, but Thailand is definitely ahead of everyone by about 500 years, at least by its calendar. There are still many cool countries ahead. Subscribe to my YouTube and Instagram so you don't miss anything. I'm everywhere. Over Carmanov. Bye.